Guys, today I'm going to talk about the urban planning, becoming an urban planner. Urban planning, also known as town planning, city planning, regional planning, or rural planning, is a technical and political process that is focused on the development and design of land, use, and the built environment, including air, water, and the infrastructure passing into and out of urban areas, such as transportation, communications, and distribution network and their accessibility. Traditionally, urban planning followed a top-down approach in master planning, the physical layout of human settlements. The primary concern was the public welfare, which include consideration of efficiency, sanitation, protection, and use of environmental, as well as effect of the master plan of the social and economic activities. Over time, urban planning has adopted a focus on the social and environmental bottom lines that focus on planning as a tool to improve the health and well-being of people while maintaining sustainability standards. Sustainable development was added as one of the main goals of all planning endeavors in the late 20th century, when the detrimental economic and the environmental impacts of the previous models of planning had become apparent. Similarly, in the earliest 21st century, Johnny Jacobs, writing on legal and political perspectives, to emphasize the interest of residents, business, and communities, effectively influence urban plannings to take into broader consideration of resident experiences and needs while planning. Urban planning answers questions about how people will live, work, and play in a given area, and those guides orderly development in urban, suburban, and rural areas. Although predominantly concerned with the planning of settlements and communities, urban planners are also responsible for planning the efficient transportation of goods, resources, pupils, and waste, the distribution of basic necessities such as water and electricity, a sense of inclusion and opportunity for people of all kinds, culture and needs, economic growth or business development, improving health and conserving areas of natural environment significant that actively contributes to reduction in carbon dioxide emissions, as well as protecting heritage structure and built environment, since most urban planning team consists of high educated individuals that work for city governments. Recent debate focus on how to involve more community members in city planning process. Okay, guys, now we are talking about uh, something else about the urban planning. Urban planning is an interdisciplinary field that includes civil engineering, architecture, human geography, politics, social science, and design science. Uh, Practitioners of urban planning are concerned with research and analysis, strategic thinking, engineering, architecture, urban design, public consultation, policy recommendations, implementation, and management. It is closely related to the field of urban design, and some urban planners provide design for streets, parks related to the field of design, and some urban planners provide designs for streets, parks, buildings, and other urban areas. Urban planners work with the cognate field of civil engineering, landscape architecture, and public administration to achieve strategic policy and sustainability goals. Early urban planners were often members of these cognate fields. Tough days. Urban planning is a separate, independent professional discipline. The discipline of urban planning is the broader category that includes different subfields such as land use planning, zoning, economic development, environmental planning, and transportation planning. Okay, Now we are talking about the kinds of the planning. First, the strategic planning. Strategic urban planning focuses on setting high level goals and determining desires areas of growth for a city or metropolitan area. The result of the planning process is a strategic plan, also called the development plan, core strategy, or comprehensive plan. The strategic plan's goals may include easing transportation throughout the city, creating more community spaces, improving citizens' quality of life, or encouraging people to visit or move to city. The second one is land use planning. Land use planning largely concerns legislation and policy, adopting planning instrument like governmental statutes, regulation rules, codes, and policies to influence land use. On a on a broad level, these planning instruments deal with the type, location, and amount of land needed to carry out different functions of the city. They also serve to zone or reserve land for certain purposes such as residential for buildings like apartment homes, single family residences, and condominiums. Commercial for buildings like retail shops and office buildings. Industrial for structures like manufacturing plants and warehouses. Municipal for structure like police station and courthouses. The master plan. What's the master plan? Master planning is typically used for greenfield development projects or building on developed land instead of modifying pre-existing structure or spaces. You are starting from scratch. This type of urban planning envision a future state for a given space and what it will take to achieve that vision. Urban planners must consider the required zoning from your land use plan and infrastructure to make the project possible, such as residential and commercial land, transportation, consideration, road, location, and etc. They must also plan the location of urban amenities such as community facilities, schools, parks, and the like. Consulting with landowners and government agencies impacted by the plan is an essential task here. Additionally, you may need to bring in professional consultant to gather important expertise and insights. Ensure the plan considers all potential angles and set the completed space up for success for years to come. Okay, the next is urban revitalization. In contrast to master planning, urban revitalization focuses on improving areas that are in a state of decline. The exact definition of a declining area will differ from city to city. For example, areas that have traveling number of failing business or an stagnant or decreasing population growth, the improvement tactics city leaders use for revitalization will depend on the root cause of decline and may include things like repairing roads, developing infrastructure, cleaning up pollution, and adding to park and other public areas, etc. Community interaction is especially important with the urban planning concept as local resident and business. Owners often have insight that can help inform and tailor planning efforts. You may need to change land use from industrial to residential to get the loft apartments you want, or involve environmental planning to assess or clean up certain location. And the fifth one is economic development. Economic development is about identifying areas of growth to foster greater financial prosperity within the city, especially by enticing companies to build or move offices there. Subsequently, those companies then hire local talent and drive commuter traffic to the new office. More workers dining at local restaurants for lunch, getting gas at nearby gas station, and stopping by local grocery stores on the way home will boost visibility and spend in the area. Sometimes an economy